Erasmus academic mobility. We also promoted blended intensive programs, which are shorter, they're more affordable. We promoted youth exchanges. So you can use the ESN survey data to basically identify the target groups that you want to talk to and give a bit more of a specific approach.
The strategic relevance, we somewhat covered this topic already, but why we really do this is because whatever we do within ESN, like all the projects and Erasmus priorities, they are aligned with all these things, and all these things that you can see here listed, we have targeted questions around these topic areas because we really are aiming to include these priorities into the survey as well, and then later on we can have transformative actions to change people's minds on how they actually do mobility. Once we have all the data, we obviously have qualitative insight into student experiences, and we really want to understand how people do mobility and what we need to change about it. Then we both inform the European level policy, and institutional development is also evolving around these things. So as Verena mentioned, it's a great advocacy tool, and then once we have all the data, we can actually take measures and steps towards transforming this whole initiative. Obviously it aligns with the Erasmus Plus cycle, and then through this we can actually make improvement about the whole initiative. It's a slow process, but you can actually, once you start reading all the additions, you can actually see the improvements yourself.
So who is it a value for? For sections, the thing that will affect you the most is universities, because it's giving insight to both the outgoing and incoming student experiences, and it will help your universities improve the services that they're offering for their students. How you can get university results, I will tell you in a later slide, so that the sections actually can access their own data that is not just generalized, but actually specific for them, so they know how to move forward. For the national level, often it can be used with national agencies. It's evidence-based recommendations and comparisons. It can be used as the basis for projects, for cooperations. I don't know how it is exactly for Austria, but for example, in ESN Latvia, one of our biggest grant opportunities that we apply for and look at come from the national agencies. So we can also use this data to support any grants or projects that we would like to do together with them. Student unions often also really like this data. It's allowing all of us to work together to support for advocacy and program improvement. All levels of ESN are working in some form with student unions or other Erasmus alumni associations. And of course, all partners, it's a tool to demonstrate commitment to student-centered internationalization.
How it works, we launched the ESN survey, or it has been launched, it was not technically we, but it has been launched in 46 national organizations, NOs for short, and then it spread throughout 514 local ESN sections. We have a lot of tools when it comes to graphics and pre-made, let's say, social media coverages that you can use, so you don't have to put too much effort into it. You can just do it with a few clicks. Then national organizations and national levels contacted their higher education institutions, HIAs for short, stakeholders. So it has been spread through many fronts. It's not just you who are doing the work, but there's a lot of work in the background that it's been happening. And then once the submission period is closed at the end of the month, the team who is working on this will start to assess the data and measure it, and then transform everything that they collected into graphs, the text, so it's digestible for everyone.
Also, just to add to this, as there was recently open calls through the support structures, if you are somebody with talent in data analysts, ESN Survey really needs members, and it is the team for you if you want to look at data and education.
Yep.
So, proven impact, it's working really on all levels. Previous editions have been used in the European Commission consultations, national policy dialogues. I think ESN Portugal and Italy are the best examples for how that they are using the ESN survey data. It's also used in university strategy development, so this is more actionable from the local and the national level. And many partners are actually incorporating the ESN survey findings in reports and internal processes. One of the best examples is the international student unions, such as YFJ and ESU. Often ESN is cooperating with them as well, especially when it comes around publishing on data.
Yes, in this edition, we are aiming to collect 200. It's the previous edition. Sorry, we collected 200,000 student voices.
Keep going.
Yes. No.
Keep going.
We collected 200,000 student voices, and this year, if I'm not mistaken, we are aiming for 250,000. 25,000. Yep. So it really every submission matters. So it really is not just a slogan that we use that we really need these inputs. We really need these inputs to make a change in the long run.
So what makes this edition special? There will be new sections on the European degree. Anybody know what the European degree is? Okay, at least one person. So the European degree is one of the EU's flagship initiatives, essentially focusing on joint degrees, which are recognized in all of EU. So there's now sections to see how this is working and if there's any opinions on this. There's improvement of the teaching and learning section, improvement of the skills related, especially now that we're moving into the Union of Skills within the EU. And of course, there's also more options fitted for the European University Alliances, again, another initiative that is done on the EU level. Does anybody know what a University Alliance is? Okay, so for those that don't know, a University Alliance is essentially a network of universities that are all around Europe. And you can also do mobility through these university alliances. It doesn't necessarily need to be through Erasmus+.
Like Japan.
And just for it's a background information, but Austria has 16 university alliances. My brain is not braining, which is it's a high number compared to the size of the country. So you are doing amazing on that front.
So there's some comparative potential across different countries. If your NO has over 300 results, you can get your own individual report. So you can be able to look at the information specifically for Austria. If your university has more than 100 results on one specific metric, so in this case, incoming, outcoming, or non-mobile, then you can also get your own university report. So I think that's enough of a reason to promote it within your universities. And of course, if there's more than 100 responses between university alliances, then you can also get a report for the university alliances and see how your universities are functioning there. As Noemi already mentioned, this report is not just for the Erasmus Plus students, but also other programs. So often people filling it out are from Erasmus Mundus, SEMP, which is related to Switzerland, touring for the UK. I believe this year also there will be quite a high amount from Pannonia. Yep. And yes, also for institutions and alliances.
You can go. It's
okay.
So
what makes this edition special? We are also introducing a graduate track. So this is basically to look at students who went abroad before 2023. We are understanding the trends in career development following their mobility experiences and support the understanding of how the Union of Skills and the Erasmus are connected. So essentially we want to see how their Erasmus affected them after.
We're going to share these slides together. We wanted to visually show you how ESN Austria and Austria in general doing compared to ESN International. You can see that the incoming students, there are categories that we talked about. Incoming student-wise, ESN International collected 5,279 responses. Meanwhile, ESN Austria collected 93. And then you can see the percentages. There are targets that we are aiming to reach, and then you can see the percentages of the total, how you are performing.
Yes. So ESN Austria is quite aligned with ESN International, but you know we have a month left to go, so to reach your full targets. Of incoming students, both have reached about 20% of their targets. Of non-mobile students, it's about 30 to 40%, and of outgoing students, it's also about 20 to 30%. For reference, ESN International's brackets or targets that should be hit is 20,000 for incoming students, 5,000 for non-mobile students, and 20,000 again for outgoing students. I don't remember exactly how much it is for Austria. Maybe, Justin, you know the targets? Okay. Well.
Shame.
If you guys are wide awake, you can try to do some mental math in your head and figure out how much is 100% of 93. But, you know, it's still quite some time to go, and you still have a lot of time to make a change.
If you have any questions before we move towards the actual workshop part of this session, now's the time to ask them.
I think for this, we could probably just raise our hands and state name and section. Would that be okay for you?
Do you have any questions? We love questions. Yes.
Philip, ESN Austria. What is the benefit of promoting the ESN survey for local sections?
Oh, fair question. So ESN International gives out, I think, train tickets. I don't know the exact name. I forgot the name. My brain is.
It's Interrail.
Interrail, yes, and then I think there are Ryanair vouchers as well, and then stay in Meringer hostels, 1 or 2 nights of stay. So you can actually win vouchers if you agree to share your email address at the end of filling out the survey. So there's actual benefits for you as well. Of course, it's not guaranteed because they're gonna.
It's not a lottery base.
It's a lottery base, yes. So, but if you enter your email address, you can enter the raffle, and they assure you that once you enter your email address, it's not going to be connected to your answers. So it's all anonymous still, but you still have the chance to enter the game. Yes.
Philip?
On top, as Noemi said, that if you have more than 300 or 400 responses from your university students, you can get your own breakout report, which is, together with the ESN survey, a great information source to discuss with your international relations office about the needs of the exchange students, and you can actually make it statistically grounded, what you demand from them, or like why Erasmus is not as good as it could be. You can clearly show them actionable recommendations on how they can improve the programs.
Also, it's quite important to mention, so as I mentioned, and also as Philip mentioned, if you hit a certain amount for your university or country or alliance, you get your own report, but also after the period of collection, ESN Austria will be able to get the raw data. Yep. So ESN Austria will be able to see fully how people are answering the survey, not just through the general report at the end.
So not just like what ESN International made out of it, or how they perceive the data and how they understand it, but you also have the chance to work with your own data, and I'm fairly certain that it gives professionalism for ESN. So once you present this data to either international offices or to your national agency, it gives visibility to you, and also it makes the whole organization a little bit more professional, and then later on it's a huge opportunity to demand even more money, more projects, or whatever you'd like.
Maybe there are some more questions? Fabian?
I'm not
Name and section.
Fabian from the national board. I'm not a student. Can I still fill it out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because in this case, you could. Have you done mobility before?
No.
I was going to say that you could fill out the graduate track, but in this case, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not relevant anymore. Is there maybe some more questions? Okay, then if I ask again how many people know now what the ESN survey is, do you feel a bit more confident?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh,
So,
confidence level.
workshop time. Now that you have a bit of an understanding of what the ESN survey is, we're actually going to make you read the report. So at the end, when I'm going to ask how many people have read the ESN survey, or at least parts of it, I'm going to hope all hands are going to be in the air. So essentially what we're going to do is to divide you up into groups. However, we will not divide you randomly. We actually encourage that you get together with your sections or relevant sections, because we want you to be able to use this after the NA, not just to work with some random people. So your mission is to design and create a project or initiative that aligns with one of the core issues that we see that students are facing. You are to create a concept for this project, and you're also to find some data to prove why you want to make this project, so it's quite simple. We will also help you with this, don't worry, we're going to give you some base marks. So we'll give you about 30 minutes in your teams to design this project, then afterwards we're going to stick it around the room, and during the coffee breaks and lunches, everybody will be able to read in the style of a poster gallery and basically vote which project they feel is the best. And then at the end of the day, we have a small prize for the one that has the most votes, and they will be able to present their project to the National Assembly.
Yes, we came up with certain topics that the ESN survey emphasizes, but feel free to come up with your own very specific topic if you experience that some topics are like hot ones in your sections or at your university. These are just guidelines for you. You can be very specific, or you can be as broad as we listed the topics here. It's up to you. Just make it very understandable on your chart what you are talking about, so we all have a general understanding on what's going on the chart.
Is everybody clear with what the workshop task is, or would like a clarification? Okay, then in this case we can divide, I think, into 4 teams.
Yep.
We will leave this up as well, so don't worry. And also, me and Noemi will be going around to helping all the teams, so you're not completely alone. I understand it's a bit scary to look at the report for the first time. That's why we also listed some topics, so you don't need to first read the report. Yes, so feel free now to join into your groups, and then we'll pass some flip charts and pens around, and yes, and then you'll have half an hour. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry? Yes, we also have the other two national presidents, Julia and Jithin, who will be walking around and helping as well, so you'll have 4 of us supporting you as well.
Yep. You can start forming the groups, and then in the meantime, we're going to give out the flip charts and the markers, and then it would be advisable to form groups like one on each bottom and one on each top, and so you are not disturbing each other.
Okay. Is everybody clear? Is everyone good to go? Okay, so go for it, form your teams. We can also put some music in the background.
We can leave that one up in case
still
they
there.
need it. This
Oh.
one.
Yeah, I'll still put on some music.
Can you start a Spotify jam so they
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
so they can choose the music?
Ah, no, I can't. Because I don't have premium, so I can't start a jam. But I volunteer as tribute if you need input, like if I need to also hold hands for a group. What is this one?
Where did all the pens go?
I know Amy might have taken some. Is the audio on of the projector? The projector.
The projector, no. The projector doesn't receive audio only.
So now that you have seen what the ESN survey is, what it's useful for, what are we asking for you from the national level? Please share it as much as possible. Some sections have already been sharing it quite a lot, but please, if we post it from ESN Austria side and we tag the sections, I just ask you to at least repost it, because it just takes 2 seconds, and it already helps because you are the ones that are more in contact with the actual incomings. Share it on your WhatsApp groups if you can, even if they are like groups from past semesters. It might seem a bit like spamming, but it's also important that we get input from them. And you can also use the fact that there's prizes available for people to get, kind of to attract people. Also reach out to your international offices and the OHAs from the universities, because they are actually in contact with the people, not only the international students, but also the local ones. And there's already templates for emails that you can use. And especially promote it among the volunteers. It doesn't make any sense if we only promote it to the incomings, but we are not also like leading the example and filling it up ourselves. And yeah, as I mentioned, and I think Noemi also mentioned it before, there's a lot of materials already from ESN International that you can directly use, both for Instagram, LinkedIn, like banners just in general, and even templates that, for emails that you can share with your universities and so on. So please use it. Like, it really takes no effort from your side, and it will really help promoting it. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now the time has come. We're entering the big voting round. We're going to be doing both the public and the secret voting. And before we start, I will quickly run through the rules and remind you what we're going to vote on now. Could you please put on the CT presentation?
Sure. Loading.
Could I also have the scrutinizers come to the front?
Here they are. We're watching and waiting.
Yep.
There it is. I'm holding this.
Give us a second, the Wi-Fi. Does
It's up
somebody
there.
know some magic words? Okay, it's loading. Abracadabra. Okay.
Coco.
So, voting round 2. I have with me the scrutinizers who are going to be counting your votes, and I also have Jithin. So if you have any questions at any point during the votings, he is here to address them. If it's, for example, a reminder of what a proposal is, please don't ask your questions during the actual voting procedure, so ask them before or after. Okay, so to remind you about some of the rules, in ESN Austria we have 2 majorities. We have simple majority, so where the vote option with the highest percentage of cast votes is winning in any case. Votes abstain are not counted. In the case of today's elections, simple majority will be used for every single voting question. But however, for your information, ESN Austria also has 2/3 absolute majority, which is a vote option which reaches 2/3 of the cast votes is winning, and this is usually applied to expulsion of sections, changes to the statutes, anything that is a bit of a higher decision. For this, we're going to be using 2 voting types. We're going to be using a public roll call. So here, again, same as the quorum checks, I'm going to yell out your section, and you're just going to vote yes, no, abstain. Then the scrutinizers will announce the results after. And then, of course, we're also going to have the secret vote, which will be done electronically and individually via election runner. For this, I have already collected your emails. Everything has been checked, and you will receive this after we do the public roll call. And the secret vote will be for all of the candidates. Is there any confusion about what's going to happen now? Amazing. Then in that case, some jazz hands if you're ready to start the voting procedures. Amazing. For this, I'm not going to yell out your name other than for the quorum check, so just please pay attention. So, before we start the voting, we're going to have a quorum check. So I will yell out your section, and you just say that you are present. ESN BFI Vienna. ESN Bokowin. ESN Bokowin is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wine. ESN FH Wien WKW. ESN Innsbruck. ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt. ESN Kufstein. ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz. ESN Salzburg. ESN St. Polten. ESN Technicum Wien. ESN TU Graz. ESN Uni Graz. ESN Uni Wien. So quorum is max. Okay, moving on to the first voting question. It will be about the minutes. So once I state your section, you just say yes, no, abstain. Do you approve the minutes of NA Vienna, January, February 2025? ESN BFI Vienna? Yes. ESN Bokowin? ESN Bokowin is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wine?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW? ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
ESN Technicum Wien?
Abstain.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Wien?
Yes.
10 yeses, 0 no, 1 abstain.
Therefore, the minutes have been approved.
10 yeses, 0 no's, 1 abstain.
The next question. Do you approve the minutes of the extraordinary NA, March 2025, ESN BFI Vienna?
Yes.
ESN Bokowin is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wine?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Oh, yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
ESN Technicum Wien?
Abstain.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Wien?
Yes. With 10 yeses, 1 abstain, 0 no, the minutes are approved.
Okay, moving on. Do you approve the proposed NA dates by the National Board? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna?
Yes.
ESN Bokowin is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wien?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten? ESN Technicum Wien?
Yes.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Wien?
Yes.
11 yeses, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Do you approve the proposed concept for the next NA autumn by the Cluster East 2? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna?
No.
ESN Bokowin is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wine?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
ESN Technicum Wien?
Abstain.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Wien?
Yes. Okay, with now yeses, 9 yeses, 1 abstain, 1 no, it is approved.
Do you accept the candidacy by the representatives of Montana Universität Lieben to become a candidate section to be called ESN Lieben candidate section? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna?
Wait, is the live stream on?
Yes.
Yep.
You could potentially listen to the stream then.
So why is that an issue? audio.
Then again, do you accept the candidate?
The only thing is that Montano is not written correctly.
This I would like to our favorite president. Either I really need to learn German for the next one, or somebody needs to improve their German. Okay,
Happens to the best
let's
of us.
continue. Do you accept the candidacy by the representatives of
Montana University.
Liban to become a candidate section to be called ESN Liban candidate section? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna? Yes. ESN Boku Wien is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wien? Yes. ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
ESN Technikum Wien?
Yes.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Wien?
Yes. We did have an yes, 0, no, 0, abstain. You have it.
Do you approve the proposed action plan for the mandate 2025-2026 by the National Board? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna?
Yes.
ESN Boku Wien is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wien?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
ESN Technikum Wien?
Yes.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz? ESN Uni Wien?
Yes. Well, yes, 0, no, 0, abstain. It's approved.
Do you approve the amendment to the budget 2025-2026 by the National Board? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna?
Yes.
ESN Boku Wien is not present. ESN Body Network TU Wien?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
ESN Technikum Wien?
Abstain.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Wien? ESN Uni Wien? Please pay attention.
It's 10 yeses, 0 no's, and 1 abstain.
Do you approve Proposal 1 by the National Board? Do you want to remind them what Proposal 1 is?
Yes, proposal 1 is about removing ESN cramps from the cluster.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you approve Proposal 1 by the National Board? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna? ESN Boku Wien is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wien?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz? ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten? ESN Technikum Wien?
Yes.
ESN TU Graz?
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz? ESN Uni Wien?
Yes. Well, yes, 0, no, 0, abstain. It is approved.
And lastly, from the roll calls, do you approve Proposal 3 by the National Board? Do you want to remind what Proposal 3 is?
It's about. Anyway,
I will.
it should be proposal 4.
Okay, I'm gonna amend because it's just then we're actually voting on the wrong thing. 1 second.
That's the mistake. Anyway, it's proposal number 4, and it's about updating the procedure of voting in the technical and vice chair for the NAs.
Give me a moment to correct the question.
Mario, has there been an amendment to our proposal? So it's still that every legal body needs to approve? I find that questionable. I find that a bit weird as an individual volunteer. I want to see the debate.
Okay. The question has been amended.
Yes, proposal number 4.
Do you approve Proposal 4 by the National Board? Yes, no, abstain. ESN BFI Vienna?
Yes.
ESN Boku Wien is not present. ESN Buddy Network TU Wien?
Yes.
ESN FH Wien WKW?
Yes.
ESN Innsbruck is not present. ESN Klagenfurt?
Yes.
ESN Kufstein is not present. ESN Linz?
Yes.
ESN Salzburg?
Yes.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes. No, sorry. I was asked to do.
ESN St. Polten?
Yes.
Thank you. ESN Technikum Wien.
Yes.
ESN TU Graz.
Yes.
ESN Uni Graz. ESN Uni Wien. And with that, we're coming to the end of all of the roll calls. Thank you very much to Jevin. Now, give me a moment, and I will be sending out to the vote holders the secret votes, and I would like the scrutinizers just to be here, make sure I'm not doing anything suspicious. Okay. Okay, at 10:55, guys, at 10:55, all of the vote holders should receive an email for the election runner. Those that have sent 2 emails, you should receive 2 emails just to the emails that you sent me. Okay. Do we play some elevator music for the 1 minute?
You can play press on the app press. You can
55.
It's the things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The mic.
It should have been sent out. Has people started to receive the email? Can somebody just like yell bingo when they've received it? Any emails yet? Oh, okay. Perfect. I can, if it's, sorry? If it's not out in the next minute, I will send out the voting URL. You got it? Oh.
Could you check spam, maybe?
Anyone has still pens from the workshop just now? Please throw them at us.
Nice one.
Oh,
Anybody got the email yet? I'm gonna try to adjust the time again, and maybe you should send out. Okay,
more time for elevator music.
in 1 minute, hopefully it should come. I reset the time.
Marta, turn up the tables.
Nope.
Hit up the tunes.
Any emails? It's 58.
We're gonna put them to sleep, man.
It's fine.
I don't think it's definitely fine. I love it. But we're
Please
gonna put
tell
them
me you have the emails. Election runner.
The voting. Actually, I feel like we need now candles and a silver bath.
I think that would be very, very. That would be really nice.
That would be revive. Just turn off the lights, put up candles.
I can take care of that.
Yes. Please.
Turn up the music.
Turn up. Yeah, it's going up.
Okay, it says, for me, it says that it's been sent out. St. Polton wins the bingo. Up? Okay. In about 5 minutes, I will ask if everyone is done voting.
Wait, do you put voting till 3 p.m. or no? But they have to vote now. I love the color.
Is there anyone who is still currently voting?
Or waiting for the email.
You're still voting? Can you raise your hand if you're still voting? Okay.
At ESN Austria or in ESN Austria?
What?
At ESN Austria or in ESN Austria? I was right. He was wrong. Our president is presenting ESN and ESN at ESN Austria.
You'll be a technical chair.
That is what
No, stay. energy of the whole team. So
Oh, okay.
mascot challenge.
You want to reveal some of the
Yeah, so the song is the Eurovision Espresso Macchiato. It's a very nice song. You just dance along with it, yeah.
Perfect.
And you also have to
Even
sing,
if you don't
of
know
course.
it.
Yes.
You don't know it? There is a video.
It's a video to show so you dance along with it.
In the karaoke version.
Wait, I think we're in the version.
Uneducated.
Yeah, I think you should dance here.
Okay.
It's gonna be live streamed.
Also, everyone in the audience is welcomed and encouraged to join in. Get energized.
Ready? Chantal, ready?
I'm ready.
We're not gonna miss out on this.
It's only 3 minutes.
I had to record it as well, but it's only streamed.
Like the one from Bad Bunny. You also have to send it to me.
All right, yeah, no worries.
For the memories.
If you want to see this remarkable performance again, you can open the stream after this assembly.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that Energizer. Thank you, St. Polton, for stealing a mascot. I was waiting for somebody to do it during this NA. Now continuing on with the agenda, I would like to invite the audit board to come present their updates.
Yes, there is one.
This is mine.
Could you give the clicker to Nadia, please?
By the way, the microphone is very sensitive, so it's catching a lot my audio. What is it? Yeah, you don't need to hold it very close. Just like this. Yeah. This is perfect. The Google Meet. Yep.
No. It's not mine. Not.
Okay. just invite me again to meet. Sorry? No worries. This is for me again, don't mind it. Okay. Oh, hello there.
How was your trip to Graz?
Amazing.
I know. It's usually the question I ask when people are waiting.
First time for a long time that my trip to the NA was not that bad, but I got wet because I cycled.
Knows that your university has a university alliance, according to what Ilse and Noemi told earlier. We have St. Pölten, we have Graz, in many universities, and Udemy. Okay. I will get back to that in a few minutes.
Ilse, your vote got lost again.
So what you might not know is that in Austria alone there's 17 universities that have a university alliance from the European Union. Among them is the University of Graz and also the University of Technology of Graz. So both actually have a university alliance. There's the Technical University of Vienna, that's one. There's also the University of Innsbruck. There is the St. Pölten University of Applied Sciences. There's the Johannes Kepler University of Linz, where our section is located. There is the FH Johanneum, which I think Graz is collaborating with. There's this Montana University of Leoben, who also has an university alliance. That's why maybe the university is very invested in that. And then it continues with the MCI that we heard in Innsbruck. There's also the Carinthia University of Applied Sciences. Boku Wien, I think, also has one. WU Wien, and it continues. There's a whole list, and maybe I will approach you later and tell you what the name of this is, because it could be very helpful for you to get involved. Because not just there's a lot of money, but there's also a lot of resources, capacity of the university in it. And since it's a lot about internationalization of education, this is where ESN, for example, could contribute and then also become part of this whole initiative.
You can start. You will just click, you will click on this and it will be
So, welcome from my side again. My name is Mario. I'm part of the audit board, and I'm going to show you some quick slides about what we've done since the last NA. Clicker. No clicker. Okay. Perfect. So, those lovely people here are the two members of the audit board from the last mandate, Georg and Alice. So I think Viennese people know them. They've both been very involved in ESN and also in ESN Austria. And the current audit board is unfortunately just Alice and myself, so we are still missing a third auditor for this year. Georg decided to retire. So if you're interested to joining the most amazing body of ESN Austria, come and approach us and also apply for the audit board. What are we doing? We are an advisory body for ESN Austria. We are also supervising the conduct of the national board and also during the national assemblies, the whole legal conduct. And one thing I always want to emphasize is we are also available for you as the sections. If you have questions, have struggles with your statutes or other legal topics when it comes to association or ÖH matters, approach us and we will try to help you in any way possible. And also, we are looking at the action plan and the fulfillment of the action plan. That's why I also showed the board of last mandate, because now we're getting one brief slide on what happened during the last mandate and the action plan there. Okay. So for what did we do since the last NA in February, I think it was, we looked at the, no? no pointer, whatever. We looked at the proposals which were brought to this NA and gave feedback on them. Probably a reason why some of them got withdrawn, because our comments and comments from other people made the NB realize that some might need some further work or some are not even required. We looked at the processes internally. Also, all the three of us joined the National Trainings event and were there for people who wanted to approach us there with questions and other stuff. And also, at least from my side, I also helped local sections. For example, Uni Graz had some questions about the voting for the next board and what happens if we don't have all the positions filled and so on. So I counseled there Uni Graz. Now, looking at the national level, we currently have all the NB positions filled, which is new-ish in ESN Austria. In the past, we typically struggled with filling all the positions, or even if we filled all the positions, some people retired or left the board. And one issue we still have is that we require 2 financial auditors by law. Currently, we have 1, and also for the last mandate, we only have 1 person. So there we need to find 2 people or 1 person who is motivated to be in both financial auditing. This is actually required by association law. We are missing audit board and other NC positions, but those are only internal stuff. Audit board can function only with 2 out of 3, but it would be, of course, be great to have 3 out of 3 people present. Let's look a bit on the last year's action plan. We have always quite ambitious action plans with a lot of positions and topics, and not everything is covered, not everything is completed, and some stuff gets shifted to the next year. My general feeling when I looked at the completion of last year's action plan was it's in line with the completion of the previous mandates, the previous years, so similar level of achievement. 2 things I want to highlight. The National Board managed to organize the national training event a 2nd time in a row. This is a highlight for me because we struggled to have a national trainings event for years, and now we had 2. So hopefully we'll have the 3rd one next year. And also, for this training event, there was a grant received, which made it cheaper for people to travel there and also a lot cheaper for from the participation fee side. So this is also a highlight from my perspective of the last year's action plan. And for the new one, you already approved it. As with most action plans, stuff which was not finished last year was carried over into new one. One thing I really enjoyed about the new action plan and reading through it is that there is always this fulfillment at the bottom of the action, and also a tracker in percentage, so it will be easier to check whether an action plan item has been actually fulfilled or what's the status of the action plan item. With that said, let's see. Yeah, that's actually already the end of my presentation. You can reach us under this email address. Important, the hyphen, it's new. In the past it was 1 word. Or you can reach us on Slack. We are present on Slack as well. And of course, during national assemblies, other international and national events, whenever you see someone of us, you can approach us anytime if you want to have your questions answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you for keeping on time. You make the CT very happy. We now have some time for a question round. The Q&A link is the exact same as the rest of the other days. Until it is set up, I have it already open, so we can start the question round, and I'll just do it in order from who sends it to me. So you can already start filling it out. It's the exact same link.
Do I not duplicate the screen?
Just did.
Somebody is currently typing a question or thinking about a question? Yes. Okay. Apologies, our Wi-Fi is a bit slow.
Can't do it the old way. Special.
The vice chair would not appreciate it. Okay, the first question goes to Julia from Lithuania.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Julia, ESN Lithuania. Okay. Yeah. So basically, you have like audit positions filled generally quite often, and it's amazing to see. But how would you motivate section members to apply? Maybe because in Lithuania we don't have audit because no one is applying, and we are thinking how to motivate them, how to show the purpose more, except like obvious things, let's say. So how did that work for you, or maybe you know some stories or the best strategy, let's say.
So from the Austrian perspective, it's not that easy to approach individual section members if they're on the level of their section and have not yet participated in the national level. So what we try, or what we did in the past, is approach we as audit board members, current members, or also as national board members who want to fill the audit board, is to approach people who already have some experience and some activity on a national level. So especially former national board members, former national coordinators. For example, in Vienna, there is ESN Vienna, which is also an association, people who have been active there. So people who know a bit more about the structure and the dealings of ESN Austria. But of course, that position is open for everyone. And even if you're completely new and you're interested, we are happy to have you in our ranks. But I would rather approach the more experienced people who are maybe on the verge of retiring from the more active positions, then they have a good spot in the audit positions.
Next question from Chantal.
After, do you want to just stay there and I'll post the thing? Okay. Chantal, ESN Austria. What happens in the case that the financial auditors want to resign but no one is following up? Are you then forced to stay in that position until you find someone else?
It's not written in our statutes that way. It's only that way for the national board, that you have to cover until you find a successor. So that's a gray area, especially since you can't force somebody to continue if they are really not motivated anymore. So if that is the case, that the financial auditor drops out and doesn't want to continue, I would say it's on the national board to find people who are ready to apply. And I mean, so far we found people for that position in the past. I'd try approach people who did it in the past. So for example, in the current situation for last year, maybe you can motivate Orion again, who did it. Or even if you look further back. What we also considered at some point is whether the audit board can also cover parts of the financial audit. That is technically possible. Legally, also, I think, okay. The question is whether the National Board and the National Assembly is fine with that. But I would not force it onto Alice, if she wants to do it or not. I have been myself financial auditor in the past, so for me it would be feasible.
I can just share how it works in ESN Latvia. Maybe it is also, you can say if it's legally possible in Austria as well. So in Latvia, legally, we need to have an auditor. Whether it's in the audit board or not. So if we don't have audit positions filled, especially financial auditor, the national board has the right to appoint somebody externally with the approval of the NO, and also we can have a temporary financial auditor approved by the NO, but these are just options, but I'm not sure exactly in the case of Austria. Maybe you can look into if that's an option for the future.
So my next question, Chantal, ESN Austria, do you have to be present, or at least one of you, for every single NA that takes place in Austria?
No. There is no requirement to be present. The standing orders have the requirement for the OC to provide at least one spot for the audit board, but there is no requirement for the audit board to actually be there. But in the past, we always managed to have at least one member of the audit board at an NA. But it's not a legal requirement or even not an Austrian statutes requirement to be there.
Next question goes to Noemi.
Thank you so much. Noemi, ESN BME. It's just a curiosity question. Can you please share something from your past mandate as a learning outcome, something positive, and a challenge that you faced which is not too positive?
So past mandate, positives, I would say, if the national board actually proactively approaches the audit board and asks for clarification questions, for help, if they struggle with something or if they are not clear on some documents, what's the interpretation or how was it done in the past. That's actually quite nice for us if they come to us when they struggle. Or if even better, before the struggle starts, if there is something to clarify. And learning outcome, I would say, it's always a bit difficult for people who are in this board, who have a lot of experience, to be open-minded and approach ideas with a fresh slate, because a lot of ideas are not new ideas. But the people who have the idea, for them it's a new idea. And you, as a person who has been active in ESN for long, who has been in the audit board for long, remember 3 years ago the same idea was tried and it was not good and it failed. And it's easy in that situation to snap into the thinking of tell them it's not working. But that demotivates people with the new idea. So it's good if you try to step back a step and give them room to experiment, maybe guide them in a direction if you know it's not gonna work, but not completely shut them down immediately.
Thank you so much. The next question goes from Jatin. Give it a second for the live stream.
Jitin, ESN Austria. My question is, does the audit board currently see any legal procedures or duties that need adjustment for this or in the future for the next mandate?
Can you maybe clarify, do you think the broader context of ESN Austria or the audit board itself? I don't think there is pressing matters which really require immediate fixing. What I feel is that some or most of our legal documents need to have fresh look on them. Because still some parts are not clear and there is still some duplicity in different documents. This can be streamlined, there can be a reduction of bloat. And also, for example, one thing which we introduced some years ago was the extended function of the main arbitrator. A lot of text concerning this was put into the code of conduct, but it's not reflected in the statutes or the standing orders. So maybe include a description or rights and duties part of the main arbitrator into the standing orders as well.
The next question goes from Noemi.
Noemi, ESN BME. My question is, who can actually propose a legal change within ESN Austria, especially when it comes to statutes?
Statutes, it's quite easy. There is the board, national board, and the sections. I think there is the requirement of 10%, meaning 2 sections together need to bring a proposal. Then we have a really tricky situation. The audit board has the right to propose, but we don't have the right to actually write the proposal ourselves. This was implemented when the audit board was first introduced in ESN Austria, and the feelings back then was there should be a separation of power between the people who check whether something is legal and the people who write the rules. So therefore, the ESN Austria didn't want the audit board to have the right to write the rules when they are checking it. What's then the process for this is, there will be an open call for a working group. People join the working group writes a proposal. The audit board then submits the proposal from the working group on behalf of the working group, and then it's put towards the NA. So in that case, Mario has the audit board head who is not writing a proposal, and then I'm the working group member who is writing the proposal with others, and then the audit board Mario can submit it. But there is no Mario audit board writing a proposal and submitting it on himself. It's a bit tricky.
Last question so far is also from Noemi.
Thank you so much. Noemi, ESN BME, are you planning on bringing consultations or workshops to NAs to involve more people in the decision-making processes, again, especially regarding the statutes?
Yes and no. In the past, I facilitated many workshops which were an introductory to legal documents, generally. What does ESN Austria have? Where do you find whatever topic, and so on. We did it in the past 2 or 3 iterations of that workshop. We can, of course, do that again. That's more generally for people who are new, who are maybe at their first NA and have never heard about the legal documents. For the consultation and legal decision-making process, Austria has worked with the concept of working groups. That's outside of an NA. So people who have an opinion on a topic or who want to change something form a group and discuss and produce a proposal in this setting. This has put a lot of pressure from the NAs because all the controversies were already discussed beforehand with the people who have strong opinions. That made it smoother on the NAs, and we can, of course, start with that again. Working groups can be implemented at any time. So if people have the need to change something or have ideas, it doesn't even have to be them who in the end writes the proposal. But if they have ideas, they can approach the national board, approach the audit board, and then we form a group and discuss and propose something.
As I see there are currently no more questions, I'd like to ask, is there anybody still currently writing a question or thinking about a question? In that case, I propose to close the speakers list. Is there any objections? Okay. Speakers list is closed. Thank you very much, Mario. Okay, now I would like to invite the National Board to come present how they're going to carry out the National Board updates.